Okay, we are connecting everybody. So, welcome everyone to another great live trading room here with Lachlan from Samurai Day Trading. So welcome everyone. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I would let you get right into it. Lachlan did prepare an educational presentation for us today. However, the markets are rocking and rolling and everything's fine. So we're going to proceed with our usual program, unless Lachlan, maybe at the end you want to do a little bit of an educational session. I don't know, up to you. Up to you. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, guys. Enjoy this trading session. Take notes. Listen to Lachlan. Manage your risk well, and I will join towards the end.
Sounds great, Alan. Thank you, Sue. As a big shout out to Alan and TTP. I hope you guys are really well. Now, as Alan has suggested, guys, I have prepared a lesson for you. So literally a trading lesson. So I hope you guys are well. Let me grab chat. We'll get us right where chat is rocking and rolling. So can I get a confirmation you can see a PowerPoint slide? Now I've got a presentation ready for you because we were told by a number of websites that there would be no data today. So there would be no German data. As it turns out, there is German data. I've gone and checked. Guys, some of the websites will say there's no data, others don't say anything. So, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the introduction to what we normally do because we're going to be presenting live. I'll give you that. We're going to go into the charts and do what we normally do, and then as we roll through, I'll do my best to actually sort of key in some of those key sort of lessons that I was going to talk about. So I'll introduce you to what those lessons were, and then we can rock and roll from there. Now, ironically tonight, straight after this session or 30 minutes after this session finishes, we've actually got our global monthly support hub. So our trading meeting, guys, where everybody gets together and talks trading and similar things. So anything that I don't cover, guys, anything I don't cover in this session, I'll be able to cover in that session. So it's actually worked out quite well, which is good fun. So guys, we'll roll with the LTR. Guys, we'll roll with the LTR trial. Guys, we'll do all of our normal CCNs that we would have to do anyway, and then we can roll from there. So first and foremost, guys, welcome to everybody wherever you are in the world. Guys, last week, if my numbers are correct, guys, there were more than 160 people that were watching us either online or in the live trading room, which is very exciting. So that's a record. Guys, that's a record, and today we might break that record. Who knows? Today, guys and girls, we're going to be trading futures. Some will be trading CFDs. So just be aware, guys, that both of those trading modalities have risk because we are trading on margin, CCN or customer caution notice number 2. Because we are trading on margin, guys, it means that we borrow money every time we take a trade. What does that mean? Guys, we've got an opportunity to make money very quickly. We've also got the opportunity to lose money very quickly. So we are professional risk controllers. Guys, today the volatility is up. There is no question about that. So we're going to have to be very careful about the risk that is given to us on each trade. All right, we're going to be running through a number of things today. So hello, everybody. Hope you're well. Dan, hope you're brilliant. Who's that? Daniel, I hope you're absolutely fantastic. Because everything we do is general information only. The past performance of all financial products now, basically Australia, UK as a benchmark. Guys, we can't use past performance as any indication of future performance. I've had a pretty good trading week, guys, so far. I'm well over KPIs, so I'll just keep tinkering along and see how we go. Now, that being said, guys, we've got market risk factors. So when we do trade over the internet does become a variable. So I'll do my best to guide you in and out of the market as best as I possibly can. Guys, at the end of the day, there's no guarantee that you can get into the market where I suggest to get into the market. Mind you, guys, that's not sometimes a negative because you can actually get what's called positive slip. So you actually get in before I do and get out before I do. So it's not always a negative. Now, guys, who am I? I'm, guys, the lead educator at Samurai Day Trading out of Singapore. Ultimately, I've had an opportunity over the last 20 or so years to really start to understand this thing called trading properly. I've had an opportunity also to educate more than 2,500 traders now in 22 countries. And the platform for that, how have I ultimately done all of that? I've done that because I wrote all the mathematics behind the indicators that we're going to be using today. So the indicators, including the delta V1, V2, V3, the efficiency, the CSA, principles, OSR, SVG strategies, Some of these things may not make any sense to you at this point in time. They will slowly make sense over a little bit of time. You might need a couple of trading sessions to come up to speed. Or guys, if you want to get right into it, everybody knows we actually have a full-on, very, very detailed education package if you do decide you wanted to head down the path of being a professional trader. Now that said, guys, I am a dad. I lecture at university. Most people may not be aware, I lecture at the Masters of Applied Finance and Investment level, guys, at university, and that's actually on risk management. I was on risk management, which is a really, really hot topic. Now, guys, a brief history of my trading. Basically, 1st of August 2007, I discovered futures trading. I was actually a Forex trader and a CFD trader at the time. As I realized that futures were actually traded through the Chicago Mercantile Exchange with no brokers present in the market whatsoever. But guys, I was delighted to find out that brokers are physically blocked from participating. They're actually blocked from participating in the futures markets. Very, very exciting. And my problem with CFDs is I found out they were exactly the opposite. So I switched basically straight away. So much so, I've had some really good feedback on the book that's available, guys, on the website. Dave, I'm not surprised. The markets are moving beautifully. So that's a great trading result. Well done. Guys, I've released a book. This is a number of books. I co-authored an international bestseller. Guys, that is no longer available. Here are the summary points, guys, in Brokers Exposed. Long story short, if you're brand new to trading or you ultimately want to know why trading is not working, guys, please have a look at that book and then we can work on your behavior and your psychology and everything else. Now, as we move through, guys, also getting some really good feedback. Samurai Day Trading, guys, we're putting some really, really good videos up on there, guys, summaries of what's going on in the trading room. As I want to draw particular attention, if I can, I'm running the European Open live trading room. We clearly also have a US close live trading room, guys. One of the newer traders this morning actually made around $1,600 in that trading session with Fred in the US close. So if you are available, guys, for the US close, so that's anybody on the East Coast of Australia, anybody across Europe, anybody in the US, it is an incredible, guys, it's an incredible time slot to trade, and Fred's doing a really good job. So shout out to Fred. Guys, if you like Instagram, guys, we've got our I Love Trading Instagram. That's popping along. That's been there for a long time. Guys, over the next couple of months, everything will be morphed to Samurai, which will also be good fun. Now, guys, today we were going to be doing a little bit of a lesson, guys, on what is most important in the game of trading. And can I suggest to you, guys, if it's possible, integrity is probably the number one thing. The reason I say integrity is there's 5 things that our really, really good traders do on a daily basis. And this is where I was actually going to morph you across into an education sort of session, guys, that I've prepared for you. Flip side, more than happy to do that education, guys, in the hub meeting that's occurring after this. If you don't have a link, guys, to the hub meeting, I'll give you the registration link. You can come and say hello. But guys, price integrity, as a futures trader, we don't have to worry about price integrity because we trade directly to and from a futures exchange. What does that mean? We have organic integrity. There's no question about that. I just want to highlight to everybody, the reason that the really good traders are really good at what they do is because their entry, their exit, their pivot levels, their resistance levels, their extension levels, their trend lines, everything is defined by price integrity. Now, if you don't have price integrity, so if you're trading against a broker who's manipulating the market against you while you're trading, guys, all of your levels are going to be off. And something that did come up a couple of days ago, guys, I had a Forex trader contact me and say, Lockie, this is ridiculous. I was in a Forex trade. The market ran down, didn't even touch my stop loss, and they knocked me out of the trade. I said, oh, fancy that. That's because you're operating with a price spread, guys. So again, if you're a Forex trader, guys, just putting it out there to the world, you've got an entry spread and an exit spread. You've also got a target spread and a stop loss spread. So they don't have to touch your stop loss to kick you out of your trade. That's an interesting scenario in itself. So guys, we were going to do some education. We're going to do some education on this, and we're going to do this a little bit later, guys. We'll do this a little bit later in the hub meeting. But what I want to do, guys, I want to highlight, though, this is what the top traders are ultimately doing. And what I would love to find out, guys, what I would love to find out from you, guys, is what is your number one motivation for being in this live trading room session? Guys, you might join us Monday through Friday, guys, which is fantastic if you join us with Samurai, or you might just be joining us on a Thursday. But what's your number one reason for being here? Well, it's because, and I'll come back to that. I'd love to find some answers out. Because the best traders, it's literally since 2007, the best traders have always let the market do the heavy lifting. So the market defines your entry price, your exit price, your stop price, and also your trade duration. Because what we do is we combine pure price movement with indicators. So everything we do, guys, is about pure price movement first, indicators second. Just happens to be the indicators very, very good. Guys, we use candlestick strength and losses strength to assist us with our delta trading, which is again combining pure price movement as with a delta algorithm. And why do we use the delta? Guys, ultimately to give us certainty about why we are doing what we're doing, guys. The delta algorithm is all about certainty. We love ratios. We love candle dominance, guys. We love the literally 2 to 3 times rule. That's going to become really, really important today, guys. And the use of extreme volume. As extreme or excessive volume, one hint is losing, or one team is losing command of the market. Now, this all results in one key to success in the game of trading, guys, which is simplicity. Okay, simplicity is really, really important. Guys, going back to your number one motivation, right? Number one motivation. Why are you here? Why are you here? Andreas, how are you? I hope you are, Brett. You're here to learn? Fantastic. Guys, a lot of people will say to me, Lockie, I'm here to learn. A lot of people say, Lockie, I'm here to earn money. I'm here to learn how to make money and similar things. Guys, but if I was to grab the top 4 or 5 traders, guys, I've ever trained, and I would say to them, what's your number one motivation for being in the live trading room? Guys, they would literally say, I'm here to master the art of trading. So I'm literally here to master the art of my interaction with the markets. Now, I do find that really exciting, guys and girls, because if you can master the art of how you interact with the market on a daily basis, what's actually going to happen is you're going to end up making a lot of money in the process. So what we'll do today, ladies and gents, is we'll focus on simplicity. That's what we always do. We'll focus on simplicity. But more importantly, we'll focus on literally just letting the market do the heavy lifting. So when the market gives us a signal, we'll jump on it. If the market doesn't, we'll be able to run through a couple of those key learning points as we rock and roll through. All right, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm going to turn my camera off. That's because I don't want it creating a shadow. I don't want it creating a shadow on the chart, because quite often it will actually cover up the top right-hand corner of the FDAX, which makes the FDAX a little bit hard for you guys to see. Now, first and foremost, when you are going to be trading, the European markets, as we will be doing today, even if you're on the NASDAQ or the S&P 500, guys, the key to success in the European markets is understanding what are the European markets actually doing. So why are they doing what they're doing? And ultimately, what does that mean? So we'll come down here, guys, to the FESX. First and foremost, we have a massive gap to close, guys, a really, really big gap to close. The volume for us today is already at 151,000. So as I was getting ready, guys, volume was 145,000. That is very, very high for this trading time slot. Guys, the volume is very high. Now, there's reasons for that, guys. The US has basically gone into an absolutely crazy rally to the high side, because there is a judge over in the US that has said that Donald Trump doesn't have the right to put tariffs on. Now, that judge, just so everybody's aware, that judge is legally incorrect, and it will be appealed and it will be turned over. The reason being is that Donald Trump has actually declared an international state of emergency for tariffs in the US. So the only person in charge of that is Donald Trump, right? A judge can't come forward and say, you can't do that, grumble, 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 but they're currently trying. What does it ultimately mean, guys? What does it ultimately mean? And this is really exciting, right? During the week, guys, during the other trading room sessions, I've been saying to everybody, it's going to take a massive geopolitical shock in the market, a massive shock. The FDAX, guys, and the FESX, we have to come down and we have to close this gap, right, all the way down here. So that's where prices basically jumped and run. We've also got to close this one down here. So what does it ultimately mean is we're going to get a very, very big geopolitical correction in the market. And when it occurs, as the Eurex will literally run down and close all these gaps. Now, as in history, it's always been a geopolitical trigger that has actually sent us plummeting to the downside. Right now, on the bigger charts at this point in time, Guys, we had big sell down late last week. They've turned around and gone completely back the other way. I do want to highlight, guys, for the European-based traders that your stair step appears to now be owned by the buyers. Let me just double check that. Sell down, bought back, sell down. Absolutely correct. So we're in a scenario where the European markets, like they did yesterday, are probably going to keep trying to climb, because as they did yesterday, until we get what we refer to as a dual market signal. Right? So bottom left-hand corner, for those of you who are looking for a very, I'd say ultra high success rate today, what we're looking for, guys, is for the FTX traders, we want the FESX to agree with us. As for the NASDAQ traders, we want the S&P to agree with us. And for the S&P 500 traders, you ultimately want the FESX to agree with what's going on, guys. So we're going to be looking for that dual market. We're going to be looking for the dual market agreement. Now, the danger signal for us is that we open in a 4-hour trade. Obviously, our primary execution chart is the 5-minute chart, and you guys can see, guys, understanding how stair stepping works. More than happy to take you through that, guys, in the hub tonight. But we have opened in a 4-hour long. Okay, so it's highly likely these guys are going to go a bit further to the high side before we come down. Now, when we do come into trade, guys, there's a delta V2 hiding right there. That delta V2 is absolutely divine for when we start trading in about 13 minutes from now. Okay, guys, down to the 60-minute chart. Let's have a look for Fibonacci. See this really large gap, guys, this big gap in the market. They're going to have to close that at some point in time. If we do this, guys, and we do that on the 60-minute chart, you'll see that these guys have honored, fancy that, they've honored the 300% Fibonacci extension, goes to the tick. Now, this brings up a really important lesson as about price integrity. Okay, about price integrity. If my data was provided to me by a broker, I would have different prices down here. As a result, my Fibonacci wouldn't fit. But because I am a futures trader, guys, you can see my Fibonacci fits perfectly. Another example is over here on the NASDAQ or S&P, sorry, down the bottom right-hand corner. Can everybody see that green 200% extension where we've literally kissed it perfectly? Guys, up on the NASDAQ, we've literally kissed the 161.8 green extension perfectly. That has actually resulted in, guys, an absolutely stunning static bar reversal short that I know a number of you are actually trading already. So some of my traders, so we're literally coming into 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Japan. Some of my traders start at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and basically trade the Singapore close, which is what they're doing at the moment. Okay, so that little static bar reversal, guys, up the top here of the NASDAQ is an absolutely stunning trade. You can see the little label on it there. As in all of the deltas, so all of those little little red dots that were created there, guys, they're all deltas. They're the ones that I referred to in the PowerPoint. Okay, so today we're going to be combining pure price movement, with indicators. That's been working very well for a very long time, well, since 2009. Now, I would suggest, guys, at this point in time, I'd suggest the Europeans are probably going to try and push up one more time before pushing down. If you don't trade the opening candle, guys, please do not let me romance you into taking a trade. And if you're going to be very careful today, guys, because of the volatility, you're going to wait 15 minutes effectively for the OSR to be set on the European markets. And then we're going to look for static entry trades, right? Static entry trades yesterday. Damsey, how are you? Hope you're brilliant. The static entry trades, guys, yesterday, 100% strike rate again, guys, if you entered statically. Right, really important point. Guys, now Damsey's just jumped in. I'm going to grab Andy. Your mic is ready to rock and roll. I'll just go and grab Damsey's microphone. Here he is right there. So, mate, you're ready to rock and roll. Now, with all of that said, come across here to the S&P 500. Again, I've mentioned before, guys, ultra high success rate. Just watch for dual market signals. So you're watching for matching signals as on the complementary markets. If the S&P 500 does rise again, guys, watch 6,000. It's a very round number. All right. So these markets will quite often get caught at these super round numbers. The Fibonacci, guys, completely amazing on the S&P 500 today, that 200% green extension. So if we do push up, yeah, MJ, it's a great point you raised, mate. Some of the websites are saying there's no DAX data today. Others are saying there is DAX data. As it turns out, there is. So we're on. so I guys, I actually prepared a 2-hour trading class for you on how do we do this and how do we do that. And as it turns out, we're trading. So we'll try and cover most of that as we need to. Now, guys, again, cross to the US markets. The daily chart, if we just have a look at where we are in respect to what's ultimately going on. Again, a news announcement came out yesterday that Trump can't put tariffs on. Again, we won't get into the legal argument on that one. Suffice to say, it's been seen as a massive positive. May I suggest, guys, that eventually the tariffs will hold? Okay, now I'm not a lawyer, but I'm having a sneaking suspicion they will hold. And that will be the geopolitical trigger we need to actually go and close the gaps that we've spoken about on the actual German markets, and the European markets have got a long way to fall, guys, when they fall. Now, something I want you guys to be really, really careful of. So again, I quite often get asked, Lockie, how come your extension looks like that? And why is it that we're matching these extensions perfectly? So as this is referred to, that little -2 candle there is referred to as a turning bar. Okay, so the American markets are famous for establishing Fibonacci's on turning bars. Ultimately, the sellers stole the stair step. They couldn't push the market down. The buyers have taken it, and hey presto, the Fibonacci is working really well. What we need to be aware of is that the US markets are trying to set up a 4-hour short. As if the 4-hour short fails, it's going to turn around into a swing trigger long. If it turns around into a swing trigger long, these guys are going to go a long way to the high side, right? They're going to go a long way to the high side. There's no reason why they're going to sell down after such a buoyant little move. We drop down to the 60-minute chart, guys, as part of our analysis. Whoops. Sorry, guys, hiding behind here, just to be transparent, is a Leopard 50 catamaran. You guys know that I want to go sailing around the world. Well, guess what? That'll be on a Leopard 50. I'm following a family at the moment. Cost about $1 million, Diane. So 1.5 good years on the FDAX will pay for that caravan. Pay for the catamaran. Now, I am following a family, guys. There's a family that's actually from the Gold Coast of Australia sailing around the world, and it's called Sailing with Six. So it's a family on the Gold Coast that said, you know what, we've had enough, we're going sailing. Incredible YouTube series. If you guys are looking for something to watch, which is quite inspiring and entertaining, it's called Sailing with Six. Actually, really quite good fun. What I see here, guys, on the 60-minute chart, I see ultimately 2 selling phases against an upward trend. So here's our upward trend coming through perfectly. This is called a 2-phase complex retracement. Guys, ultimately, that little blue line, guys, is going to be really important because that is the breach point for an ABC pattern. All right, so that's 93.50. So let's go and have a look. 93.50 is right here. As if we close above 93.50, then that ABC short on the 60-minute chart will not be holding. It is highly likely these guys are going to buy long, right? Highly likely they're going to buy long. If we close below that level, guys, and that'll be on the 60-minute chart close in 5 minutes and 52 seconds. If we close below that level, guys, we're likely to sell down first before then turning around and coming back the other way. Okay, now the trades I would keep an eye on. Just double check here. No. Double check. There's a stunner right there. That black diamond, 5985. So 85.25. If we sell down, guys, to 85.25 on the S&P 500, right? That is an old static bar reversal long that turned the market. So if we get down there, guys, like literally a big stretch of sellers to the downside, there could be a really lovely long there, guys. That would literally be for those people that trade off the 88.6 Fibonacci, then you guys will be in a great spot to pick up that trade. Now, I do suggest, guys, today is going to be quite volatile. All right, so again, if you don't trade the opening candle of Europe, please don't change that now. There's another one there. Okay, so let me just put a ray across the chart. Let's watch that green line, guys, for also another long opportunity. That's if we sell down, guys. If we sell down pretty hard, guys, and fail badly, we could be looking for a really, really lovely long. Now, guys, as we get ready to open, please make sure you're copying to the right account. Guys, if you are copying to the right account. If you're trading live, guys, please make sure you've got the lives settings on. If you're in sim, guys, trade in sim. I'm just doing Fibonacci here in the background. FDAX is famous, guys, for pushing up to the 133 fib extension. It's famous for pushing up to the 133 fib extension and then failing. Guys, now I note that the most recent 133 fib is just here. That is the all-time high, guys, on the FDAX. We've got to be aware that these guys were very boisterous yesterday. So if you do want to be careful, guys, you can wait the first 15 minutes and say, you know what, I'll literally wait the first 15 minutes, see what these guys are up to. There could be a different Fibonacci on offer here, guys. They might be running a slightly different extension. We'll know that when ultimately the market opens. 30-minute chart down the bottom right-hand corner. So they're still mucking around that extension. Our 15-minute chart. 1, 2, 3. They are loading a swing trigger long, guys, on the 15-minute chart down the bottom right-hand corner. Let me just have a look what these guys are doing. What I will do, guys, so we don't get confused with Fibonacci, this is a longer range Fibonacci. So what I might do, I'm just going to make it pink. It's not a weekly fib, but I do want to highlight a much longer range Fibonacci. Okay. And what I'd ask everybody to do today, guys and girls, if you can, please watch the volatility. All right? These markets are highly likely to take off. Now, the FDAX, mathematically, at some point in time, it must go down, but it doesn't have to go down in our session. All right. So please kind of be aware if we can, that as much as we believe the market is going to go down, it doesn't have to go down in our session. All right. So I don't want you to come sort of into the trading session with a preconceived ideal that, okay, it's going to go down and it's going to go nuts, because it might not. Flip side of going nuts. Let me just have a quick look. This is looking very short. This is looking very short. I'm just looking for a target zone for you guys if we do go. So I'd suggest at this stage, guys, the best target zone for the FDAX traders, if you're looking for a long range short, the best target zone is actually going to be the 50 fib of the 4-hour chart. That's where they normally fail at, down here. That's a very, very long way from where we're currently trading. So if we do pick up a short, guys, we do want to go for long range shorts on the European markets. For the US markets, guys, we're looking for dual pivot reversals. And at the moment, guys, please be advised that R3, let me just double check. That R3, wow. Okay. I would suggest we're going to be looking at long range shorts on both of these markets as well. Guys, Hilly, I haven't jumped on your comment yet, but guys, this looks a lot like they're about to close under the breach point. Okay, 775.25. We'll just put a line on the chart for you there. 775.25. Okay. G'day, Louis. How are you? 4-hour short at the same 60-minute level seems to be pushing off. Yeah, mate, I completely agree. So, guys, if the FDAX decides to go heavily short, guys, guys, we'll probably see a short sell down on the US markets. I would suggest the FDAX is going to try and go a little bit higher before it goes short. Right? So I think it'll probably try and go a little bit higher before it goes short. And then we can basically assess as the market unfolds. So for those that are wanting to trade the opening candle, guys, on FDAX, what we're looking for is the opening candle to go climactic. We're then looking for an entry. Okay, let me see what they're doing. Okay, they're definitely wanting to build short here. 50 fib, yes, okay. So at this stage, guys, now we're climactic. Now we're climactic. Let's see what these guys are doing down the bottom. I'll move these around. We may be, guys, we may be looking at this stage, if you trade the FDAX on opening candle, there'll be an R1 reversal, guys, to the high side at 24300. So 24300. Now, again, if you are going to trade that, guys, you're carrying around about 20 points of risk. Your first target and risk control point is going to be 5 points. Right? So if you're going long at 24,300, your risk control will be 24,305. Please don't let me romance you into taking a trade. Guys, please don't let me romance you into taking a trade. That Fibonacci to the high side is not correct anymore. It'll be running the other way. So some of you do trade the opening candle. Guys, if you do trade the opening candle, let's just see what these guys have got. They're famous for failing down here around about that 141.4 fib. At this point in time, guys, the buyers are not strong enough. All right, the buyers are not strong enough. If we do sell down lower than where we are right now, guys, there will be a pre-bottom reversal on a 24280. I would suggest, though, that the, again, let's just see what they do. All right, NASDAQ traders, if you trade off the 76.8 Fibonacci, okay, which is the red one running across the chart there, if you trade over the top of that, guys, ideally, you want these sellers to run out of steam, which it looks like they're trying to do at the moment. Then you're looking for a long. What you do have to be aware of, Louis, if you want a mic on, mate, please tell me and I'll turn your mic on. We're not going to take that 76 reversal long, guys, because the 50 fib of the micro trend, right? So we're not going to take that long over the top of the 76s. As the R3 is not a pivot to reverse off today, please. All right, that's the R3 from the way up as opposed to the way down. All right, so we're not going to go long there. Now, at this stage, guys, we've got nowhere near the R1 reversal. So nowhere near the R1 reversal on FDAX. I'll start to spread this chart out a little bit. We don't need to know about that anymore. We need this, we need that, and the Eurobank holiday is not going to affect us. Okay, so I would suggest at this stage, as now some of you are brand new to the session, please be advised we don't take a new trade in the last 90 seconds of the opening candle or any candle for that matter on the FDAX. I did want to be short, guys, on this delta right here. Okay, I did put the circle on it. I wanted to be short on that one because it's an incredible signal. As it turns out, they've decided to run without me, which is a little bit annoying. Nice, but that's okay. That's right. It's they're allowed to do this. Now, these candles, guys, these candles are absolutely enormous. Right? These candles are enormous. What does it ultimately mean? Let me just double check 60-minute charts. No and no. All right. So we are probably looking at a sell down, guys. We thought the FDAX was going to try and move down. Guys, try and move down to the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart, which is all the way down the bottom there. What have we got? 41 seconds to go. So no new trades, guys, no new trades at this stage. We're not going long over the top of that R3. Because it's an R3, it's actually around the wrong way for the session today. So we want this, guys, we want this NASDAQ candle to go and close over the top of the pivot. We'll honor the fact that it's there. We won't trade off it. And then, guys and girls, if we get back above the 88.6, if you do trade above the 88.6, you are looking for a black diamond delta long. Guys, we've got one just above the R3. We've got one just above the R3. If you wanted to enter that one, Louis, well done, mate. Well done, well done. If you do want to enter that, guys, if the sellers do come down, a little bit on the NASDAQ, you would be looking to enter, guys, long on that black diamond delta there at 759.25 if they come back. Yes, under the 4 hour 50, mate. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, now for the FDAX traders, guys, we've got an enormous candle here. We are well below the pre-bottom, guys. This is not an efficient orange candle here. They've actually blown all of their volume up. So I'm not going to send you short on these deltas just here, guys. We're going to wait for the market to ultimately determine what it's doing. At the moment, I would suggest the sell down is probably not going to last much longer. Okay, so the sell down is not going to last much longer. Okay. Anybody that is long, guys, on that black diamond delta there, you waited for the sellers to sell underneath the delta. If you've gone long, guys, at the price, well done, Giz, nice work. If you've gone long, guys, we're looking for a 20 tick first target and risk control point. All right, so that's right there. So we're looking to trade the market back for $100 per contract. We're then going to cut our risk on the long range runners. So if it doesn't run, it doesn't matter. Okay, really, really important, guys, really important. So if you are long on the delta, guys, you waited for the opening candle to fail at a known psychological area. You've gone long on the delta. You may have gone long, guys, over the top of the 88.6. If you have done that, please honor the same target and risk control point. So everybody that is long on the NASDAQ should be at least through their first target. Okay, at least through their first target. Now, FDAX, guys, again, we're in a really, really interesting place here on FDAX because we've got the FESX below a pivot. So I can't send you long, and the risk of the short is too much for most traders. All right, Carlene, beautiful trade, well done. So I can't send you short, guys. I can't send you long at this point in time on the FDAX, which is a shame because I have a sneaking suspicion they're going to tumble. That's why we wanted this delta here as we came in. Okay, as we came into open. Shelton, you had a negative on the pre-market box. Okay, mate, I think that pre-market box trade triggered in the last 90 seconds. I looked away because we were not even getting back to the R1. So, mate, I should have kept an eye on that for you. I didn't see it though. I didn't see the actual trade set up. Now, if I do have anyone, guys, if I do have anybody long on the delta on the NASDAQ, if I do got anybody long, what we're ultimately looking for is the S&P 500 to close over the top of these 76s. Now, guys, we spoke about charts agreeing with each other. If you've noticed that both of these markets are pushed down through their 90% fib, some of the S&P 500 traders may have gone long the other way. If you have gone long the other way, as your volatility is around about the 14 tick mark. So please make sure you've probably got a 4 tick target, an 8 tick target, and make sure you're controlling your risk as at sort of the touch 6 pay 2 mark kind of stuff. Okay, now, if we get a strong selling candle here, guys, if we get a strong selling candle on FDAX, okay, and the FESX holds below its pre-market box, guys, we need a nice efficient candle. At this stage, we're not going to get one. So at this stage, we're not going to get one. These sellers are running out of steam on the European markets quite badly. Guys, so we may actually get a reversal delta long. Guys, that'll be a black diamond delta on this candle that we trade on the next candle. Just reiterating, guys, if anybody's long on the NASDAQ, you're either on the delta or you're long over the 88.6 fib. Either way, you've gone through your first target. You cannot lose any money on this trade. Guys, the volatility would say a 20 tick target, then a 40 tick target, then whatever you can get your hands on. Right? So again, just to show you what that looks like. Guys, if you're long for 20s and 40s, that's what you would look like at this stage. ABC reversal long, target 916. Thank you, mate. Target 916. Once it's reached the target. Yeah, mate, I'm with you, guys. I'm with you. So exactly what Steve's just said. Guys, I'm expecting the market to buy back a little bit. I'm expecting that to fail, and then I'm expecting it to tumble to the downside. All right. So, guys, let's just keep our powder dry on the FDAX at this stage. We've got a 1 rated efficient candle short, but, guys, but with a massive B. The FESX, guys, is closed on the other side of a pivot, right? So we can't go short on FDAX, guys. We cannot go short on FDAX. Now, for those that are long on NASDAQ or those that are long on the S&P, guys, if you're long on the S&P 500, you're looking for 4s, 8s, and whatever you can get your hands on. For the NASDAQ traders, you're looking for 20s and 40s or 40s and whatever you can get your hands on. All right, so that's what we're ultimately after. So guys, that being said, we'll just let the FDAX, as Cody did earlier in the week, we might be waiting the first 15 minutes to let these guys sort of ultimately determine what they wanted to do. I wanted to be short from up here, guys, and as it turns out, we didn't get the buying we anticipated at the start. They just fell over and sold, which is a bit of a shame because that would have been an incredible trade, but that's okay. Guys, if they don't do what we're expecting them to do, then that's okay, all right? That doesn't matter. Okay, we'll just wait for an algorithmically perfect trade. Now, with all of that said, guys, we may end up with a static bar reversal long here on FDAX to the high side. We may end up with an efficient candle short. We know the FDAX loves to go to the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart. Now that 50 fib, guys, is actually drawn the other way. So I'm just going to go and correct that 50 fib for you now. So the 50 fib will be drawn up to catch them on the way down. That will move it, as it'll move it by a couple of ticks. But suffice to say, they are highly likely to push down to that level there. Guys, now I'm preferring, guys, at this stage, I'm preferring, once they sell down on FDAX, I'm preferring longs in agreement with the FESX. Nazi traders, if you are long, guys, you've either taken the delta or you're long over the top of the so the 88.6. You've gone through the 20s, you've gone through 40s. You're now basically trying to hold it for as long as you possibly can. The 15-minute charts are suggesting you are 100% on the right side of the market. All right. So if you are long, guys, at this point in time, this little candle, if we get this little tiny little candle goes on the NASDAQ closing in 2 minutes and 31 seconds, it is a static bar reversal long. It is a static bar reversal long. What is likely to occur on the 15-minute close, we'll get a gap up, a little bit of a sell down, then they're going to come through and trigger that long. Okay, but if you are long, guys, on NASDAQ, then I know I've said it before, your risk is controlled. 60-minute wave 5. Got it. So the longer comment from before, Steve, I'll just jump on it, mate. Okay, just looking. Yeah, perfect, man. I agree with you. Okay, so at this stage, as we said earlier, we'll just watch your volatility as we cruise through. We're going to be very, very fast to control our risk today. We're going to try and let our profits run. We're just waiting for the Europeans to decide what they're going to do. Guys, now the Europeans are very angry. Guys, very, very angry. They're just mowing through Fibonacci's like it's literally like there's no tomorrow. So the FESX, guys, at this stage, we've got it trying to reverse off yesterday's high. I think this is the Europeans are basically realizing probably that the rally on the US last night was inspired by people going, ha ha, President Trump can't put tariffs on. Legally, he can, right? So there's going to be someone that loses that argument. Now, again, doesn't matter what side you sit on the political fence. When they know those tariffs are back on, the European markets in particular are going to plummet. They're just going to plummet. Okay, so for the Europeans, guys, we've got this beautiful sell down, guys. If we could carry the risk and we weren't into pivots, these Delta V2s on the FDAX are absolutely brilliant. We don't normally trade the FDAX short if the FESX is into pivots. So that's the only reason we haven't taken a trade. At this stage for the FDAX traders, we are setting up for a pre-pivot, so a PP long, just here. What we would need for that, guys, is we would need the sellers to sell down through the previous pivot, fail badly, and we want to see evidence of that failure. What I can do at this stage, I'll get rid of that Fibonacci there. I'm going to give us a gap Fibonacci, which looks like this. Let me give you a gap Fibonacci. We're just looking for what's referred to as the gap 76. Okay. The FDAX has actually, guys, the FDAX has actually set us up a valid short too close to the previous pivot, I would suggest. Okay, too close to the previous pivot. So we'll just let the FDAX traders, guys, you have to be really, really careful today. Volatility is twice of what it was yesterday. Volume is obviously screaming through, which is fantastic. I'd suggest, guys, for the DAX traders, if you want to take a pivot-based reversal, let them sell down through the pivot, and then you're looking for a long, guys, as high as 184. Okay, with all the normal caveats in place. So we're waiting for them to touch the pivot, guys, and then we're looking for a long at 184. If you are a pivot-based reverser, guys, we're going long at 184 with a risk control point of 189. So risk control point of 189. For the careful traders, guys, you're going to wait for this candle to close, and then you're going to think about taking a trade. Okay, so we can't go short, guys. On FDAX, we can only go long. Again, if you have entered the market as a previous pivot or PP related reversal at 184, goes your risk control point is 189, please. All right, risk control point is 189. Now, again, for those that are an absolute stickler, you're going to wait for them to push well below the previous pivot before going long. Some of you like going long closer to the pivot. I like 184 simply because it forces them to buy back into my buying order. All right, so it forces them to buy back into my order again. And again, guys, for those that are going to wait for a static entry, just a reminder for the static traders, you're waiting for the candle to close in 2 minutes and 55 seconds before you take a trade. We can't say, Daniel, great question. We can't say we're off the R3 on NASDAQ because the R3 is a resistance level for coming up as opposed to coming down. So what you're looking for, mate, is a trade over the top of the 88.6 Fibonacci. Okay, that's what you're ultimately looking for, which is our first trade we picked up. Now, the flip side of that, guys, at the moment, again, we're now looking at basically re-entering exactly the same reversal. Please make sure that that is in your trading plan. Many of you have gone long on that Black Diamond Delta already, and you've gone through your profit targets. If you've taken the Black Diamond Delta again, guys, it's exactly the same caveats, please. All right, so let me bring your box down here. You may have gone long, guys, on that Black Diamond Delta. If you have, the moment the price gets anywhere near 20 ticks, so anywhere near 20 ticks, you're going to cut your risk off, so you cannot lose any money. So if you've re-entered, guys, after they sold back down, if you've re-entered that little Black Diamond there, guys, at 59.25, okay, you're already at your first target. You're already at your first target and risk control point. So guys, if you have taken that trade, those deltas on FDAX, the deltas on FDAX are absolutely divine. Those Black Diamond deltas going the other way, but absolutely incredible. So if you did wait for the lower low, guys, I think it's all on now. If you did wait for the lower low on the previous pivot, these Black Diamond deltas are brilliant, guys. I got the first one. I was only for 5 points. Guys, only for 5 points. These deltas, this is one of the lessons I was going to teach you today. Those deltas, guys, once we push down to a known psychological area, there are the evil twins, guys, in the previous pivot. The deltas there are incredible going back the other way. Oh, MJ, nice work. Guys, nice work. No, mate, I got skipped on the PP, so I pushed market order, Shelton, and picked up the first delta. So, guys, only 5 points for me today. I had a really good conversation with Cody recently, guys. While I'm moderating, particularly this Thursday session, I do drop contract numbers, guys. So if I make a mistake, it doesn't matter, guys. So please be advised, I've dropped contract numbers today, but I'm still beautifully positive on that first delta right there, okay? Yeah, so guys, what we've got, again, if you've gone long, so don't re-enter, guys. So please don't re-enter this Black Diamond Delta. So those that trade this Delta, it's come back down, it's filled the order, gone through the profit target. Once it's gone through the profit target, you do not re-enter that trade until it comes down and creates a brand new lower low, right? Because what will happen is you'll actually catch a falling sword, which is quite painful indeed. Okay, now FDAX traders. Those that are looking for a trade, guys, if we sell down anywhere near the previous pivot, guys, your backup trade is the 190 delta long. If you're going to go long at 190, guys, your target's 195. What I would love, guys, is again, I said everybody try and take that previous pivot reversal at 184. If you've waited for the candle to fail and now you've gone long at 184, you're already through your risk control point. All right. So for those that wait for the candle to be static before you trade, this is stunning proof that the sellers just lost complete control of the market. All right, now what does it mean, guys? If you're going long on the first delta at 190, your first target is 195, you're on target now, you're through target now. Well done. Oh, lordy, look at this. So if you're long, guys, once the candle turns static and the market failed, you're either long at 184, which is the price I gave you before, or the delta. Either way, everyone on FDAX has just gone through their profit targets. Guys, after a very serious meltdown where we sat on the fence for 15 minutes, you guys are into winning trades. All right, well done. For those that can hold a longer range target, those who can hold a longer range target, your longer range target on FDAX is 230, please. Actually, loose change. Your long range target on FDAX, guys, is 228. Long range target is 228 to the high side. Mind you, guys, we're going to play exactly the same game we did before. You've gone through your first target. You've controlled your risk on all your long range. You cannot lose any money on the FDAX, guys, under any circumstances. Please play this risk control game. If we do sell back down again on FDAX and get a tier 2 reversal, that's when it's likely to go for the up here, guys. I'll write it here, LRT, long range target. Oops, I just moved my long range target. That is your LRT right there. Okay, now for those that can hold, particularly if you're not moderating, guys, then try and hold, guys, that lower delta for a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 point trade, please. 35 points. Your next long range target, guys, for the enthusiastic FDAX traders is here. Okay, so you've got LRT1, LRT2. All right, I'm not going to label them, guys, but that's where they're likely to go back up the other way. Okay, now back to the NASDAQ. So S&P 500 traders, you guys have sold back down. You've had a re-entry over the top of the 88.6. Again, your targets are 4s, 8s, and whatever you can get your hands on. Right now, NASDAQ traders, some of you have re-entered the Delta long. All right, some of you waited for the opening candle to close, wait for the sellers to come down, and you've re-entered and gone through a couple of targets. Some of you then have watched the sellers come down, fail again at exactly the same Fibonacci, and you've gone long again, and that's also gone 20s and 40s. All right, so again, depending on how you pull the market apart, guys, anyone that is long has got no risk on these trades. All right, Louis, nice work, mate. Well done. Now, and guys, you guys know that going long 3 times off the same level is almost like a jinx. Okay, so we now would need to be very, very careful about taking that delta long for the 3rd time. All right, so we're not going to enter the delta in the next 1 minute and 17 seconds, guys, because we're entering in the last 90 seconds of the candle, which is not a good idea. Now, if the NASDAQ closes under, guys, if they close this candle under the 88.6 and the 90, we cannot go long off the same delta again. What we're looking for is a sell down, a lower low, a failure, and the same trade, but we need the lower low to reset the reversal. Now, if this does, Cole, 6 might play too. Perfect. If we end up with a 4-point turning bar long, guys, on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500, we're going to get dual market agreement. Okay, so let's get ready for the dual market agreement. FDAX is going to give us a 4-point turning bar long, guys. So if anyone is long on the FDAX, your first long range target is 225. Oh, that's going to get smashed too. Oh, come on. Oh, geez, guys, moderating some days. Like I've got in and out of the market and I've made money and I'm really happy about it. But point is, it could be a lot more. It could be a lot more money. The cost of moderating, right? Your long range target, guys, here is 225. Chance of that getting hit is completely ridiculously amazing. All right. NASDAQ and S&P, you guys are setting up longs. Okay, now the only way we can trade long is if you get a structured retrace and a structured rejection. Guys, that's a 4-point turning bar long. That's a 4-point turning bar long. What it means, guys, what I mean by structured retrace and structured rejection, FDAX, that is a 4-point turning bar long. Guys, so again, you guys know how to deal with that. And long range target number 1 is out for those that can hold long range targets on FDAX. Okay, now, guys, what we're doing is we're going to do a Fibonacci over this NASDAQ candle. We must get a structured retrace. We must get a structured rejection. Now, again, it is not ideal under any circumstances trading into the middle of the MDI. That is not ideal under any circumstances. So what that ultimately means for the NASDAQ traders who are long already, do not scale into this trade, right? So do not scale into the trade. For the S&P 500 traders who are long, you're not scaling into the trade either because of the fact you've actually got a pivot hiding behind here. Right? So literally behind that blue Fibonacci there, you've actually got a pivot hiding in here. So nobody is scaling in long on the NASDAQ. Right? So no one's doing that. FDAX, it is a 4-point turning bar long. There's no question about that. If you are long from these deltas down the bottom here, guys, or the previous pivot, obviously you've just gone through your long range target. So beautiful, 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 beautiful position. Guys, again, wow. Now, what normally happens, Suzanne has giggled at this before. We go through our long range target and the market just sells straight off the long range target, which is really, really exciting. What we're looking for on FDAX, as we're looking for the sellers to push down and give us a lower low. Now you have to watch very, very closely on this one. So we want the sellers to sell down on the FDAX, come down, kiss a Fibonacci. So come down here, please, kiss a Fibonacci. And ideally, as it would be amazing, it would be amazing if the FDAX gave us a lower low. It's probably not going to. So a sell down to a Fibonacci, if we can pick up the lower of these Fibonacci's, the lower of these deltas here, absolutely brilliant. Okay, now, some of you guys, the 4-point turning bar long on NASDAQ, it's not an ideal trade. Some of you may have taken, look at this, I looked at the FDAX. Can everybody see that we got a structured retrace to the 23 fib? The moment they came down to 23 fib, they started buying, right? Based on coaching we did last night, if you've seen the retrace and you've seen the rejection and you've gone long, guys, promise me you've got a 20-tick risk control point on that, please. So if you have gone long, Remy, Black Delta long, well done. Guys, if you have gone long, let me borrow the box here. All right, that's your long. You're at your first risk control point. Now, what Steve suggested, guys, is absolutely on the money, guys. What Steve suggested is on the money. Let me put some lines down here. All right, I'm just going to do this. All right, we're just going to, boom, boom, 88.6. Okay, absolutely brilliant. What I'm now going to do is get rid of that Fibonacci altogether. Guys, let me give you a different Fibonacci perspective because these guys are highly likely to move up to a slightly higher fib. All right, so there's going to be a fib here. Okay, now if they can close over that 50 fib, guys, if they can close over that 50 fib, we don't need that one anymore. If they close over that 50 fib, guys, they're probably going to try and move up to around these 76s. Now, what does this mean for the S&P and NASDAQ traders? All right, both traders, you guys have got a second tier reversal, right? So second tier reversal. Normally, this is the one that goes a little bit further. If you are long, guys, on either the black diamond or the 4-point turning bar after the retrace and the rejection, promise me you've got out or you've controlled your risk so you can't lose any money. Now, the experienced traders, guys, are probably just going to try and stay long for as long as you possibly can, and there's nothing wrong with that. As I looked away to the FDAX to do the Fibonacci, and that's when we got the structured retrace, guys. So push, retrace, reject as per coaching last night. S&P is famous for retracing to the 38 fib, right? So draw our Fibonacci up in order to catch them on the way down. And S&P's gone exactly to the 38 Fibonacci, guys, exactly to the 38 before moving. Okay, so again, some of you might be in this, guys. Some of you might not be in it. If we get a black diamond delta long on NASDAQ, guys, you can actually scale into the trade. FDAX, we've sold down low enough to fill the static bar reversal. Okay, we sold down low enough to fill the static bar reversal. Did anybody take this -12 SBR long when we sold down to the 50 fib? Yes, MJ, well done. If you are long, mate, your entry point's at 208. First target is 13s. Second target is 18s. Third target is the long range target here at 225. Okay, so the long range target at 225. Now, I would suggest, guys, I agree with Steve. I think we're going to get a little bit more buying. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the NASDAQ tries to climb up to this static bar reversal. Nice, that one right there. We're already talking about this. I've got a comments up here for you already. I think we're probably going to climb up there and then they're going to fail amazingly. Amazing. Yeah. A lot more buying. But again, guys, it's all kind of down to mathematics as to what they do. So we trade what we see, not what we think. Fibonacci extension, guys, there'll be a little bit of pressure on these guys to slow down at the 133 fib extension. Hey, presto. All right, have a look. There's going to be some curry there. There's going to be some curry at the 161.8. All right, so if you are long, goes from the 4-point turning bar or the delta down here. If you are long from there, guys, you have no risk on your long range targets. There's no risk whatsoever, please. Just no risks at all. No risk at all. Now, for those that don't normally trade with us, what we're doing on the NASDAQ today, guys, because the Europeans don't know what they're doing yet, is we're using a 20-tick risk control point called an RCP. We let the market go 20 ticks in our favor. We knock one contract out there. We bring our stop loss to positive so we can't lose any money. Then the risk to reward ratio is ridiculously in our favor. And then we try and make as much money as we possibly can. If you're new to what we do, guys, a 20 and a 50 tick target is really good when the PVI, which is your volatility on NASDAQ, guys, when it's over 60, okay, when it's over 60, a target of 50 is really, really easy for the market to achieve. Okay, no doubt about that at all. Okay, really easy for it to, really easy for that to be achieved. FDAX, you guys are in a tier 1 reversal at the moment. You don't have a lower low. So you're looking for exactly the same thing again. That's because we've already got 2 reversals off the static bar reversal. We're going to wait for a lower low to get the 3rd reversal. We don't want to jinx the FDAX with a 3rd reversal off the same level. If we do sell down, guys, again, it's all about failure at Fibonacci. If we sell down and touch that 61.8, guys, these deltas here are amazing. Incredible, guys, incredible. If you were to sell down, and I would love to see a lower low, guys. Down here, we might get a lower low underneath that little candle there, the little SBR candle. We literally might wobble in by a couple of points, and then they're going to buy the market. The second buying campaign is highly likely to be a lot more powerful. All right, now don't forget, guys, black diamond deltas on NASDAQ. If we get black diamond deltas, then we're looking for the longs. We don't have any more trades at this stage. Right, spot on the mark, MJ. So again, there will be a little bit of pressure there. So what they're doing on the FESX is they're looking for a tier 3 reversal. So a 3rd tier reversal. Please note, guys, that the FESX is meant to go all the way down here to the gap. Right now, that means that if the Europeans decide to sell, this is what Steve's been talking about, guys, in terms of the market completely tanking. As the Europeans have got a long way to go, but mind you, be super careful, guys. Be super careful with that, because we would come into the mindset, therefore, of we're only selling, we're not buying. Now they might not sell for the next 3 or 4 hours. So you just got to be careful about the mindset you bring into your trading session. Dan, you're done for the day. KPI, guys, just for visibility, we've got 67 in the LTR with us today, right? So that's more than last week. We had about 80 online as well. So as I won't know about those online figures till a bit later on, but if it's 67 in here, that means that normally we're going to be heading up around 160, 170, guys, which is really exciting. Dan, if you are coming to the global hub meeting tonight, All right, so the support meeting, that's on 30 minutes after the LTR. And guys, that'll be really, really good fun. If you need the link for that, guys, if you haven't come to one of our meetings before, they're completely free, guys. It's not Traders Anonymous. It's not Traders Anonymous. I'll give you the link, guys. Everybody can come along. All we do is just talk charts and why do we do what we do. So I'll get that link for you. That will take me about 30 seconds. So just hold on one tick. The flip side, guys, we're now waiting for the market to agree with the S&P 500, guys. They've got to agree with each other. Now with the NASI, guys, we're not going to go long again on the NASDAQ until we get strong candles on the S&P and the NASDAQ simultaneously. Let me just grab this link for you. The reason being, guys, is the S&P 500 is trying to buy into its R3. The Black Delta, Dan, there's nothing wrong with the Black Delta on NASDAQ now, provided you understand you're trading it without the S&P 500's assistance. Okay. Now, guys, that Black Delta on FDAX has got too much risk. Okay, got too much risk. Let me just grab this link. So guys, I'm going to flick the link in. If you want to come along and say good day, guys, please do. We do it every month. Guys, on the last Thursday of the month, we talk about very, very basic trading stuff all the way through to the advanced stuff, right? So that's the link. Guys, that'll hook you up for the year. Please come and say good day, guys, last Thursday of the month. Now, at this stage, FDAX, the Black Diamond Delta's got too much risk. All right, so again, I'm looking for a lower low on the FDAX before we get a really, really, really long range target. If anyone, I know that when the sellers sold back down again, MJ's gone long, guys, over the top of that static bar reversal. MJ, if we close over this first long range target, okay, the next long range target's all the way up here. So if you are still long on that particular trade, if you're still long on that trade, then I would stay long. And if we get an efficient candle in 2 minutes and 35 seconds, if we get an efficient candle, that Black Delta, we are going to trade on the FDAX in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. We need the FESX, guys, to close back over the 50 fib of the day. All right, so that's what we need. Okay, now, NASI traders, at this stage, we've got people long that are just trading. Is Andy long on the NASDAQ, and are you just holding long for as long as you possibly can? Look at this. Have I got any FDAX traders that are long for long range targets? Okay, Andy's out. Okay, well done. Have I got any FDAX traders that are long? Okay, well done. MJ, you're going to try and go for... just watch how they deal with the 50 of the day, but ideally they're going to go back up here, mate. So that will end up being a massive trade on the FDAX, absolute monster trade. Okay, so well done. Now, again, guys, we're about to, again, last 90 seconds, if the S&P 500 closes over the R3, we are going to see more buying. We are going to see more buying on the US markets. I'm keeping a very, very close eye. There's a very close eye on that static bar reversal there. Okay, the reason being is it's off the 161.8 fib extension, guys, off the 4-hour chart. If they were to buy back up here towards the end of the hour and fail badly, it could produce a really lovely sell down. Okay, could produce an incredible sell down. What have I got here? Yeah, those deltas on FDAX down the bottom here, they were incredible. So all the FDAX traders, can you guys see the benefit of waiting for the market to stop? Basically waiting for the static. So that loss, so that's a -12. That's a huge loss. So the sellers were completely in command. Too much risk on the way down. No agreement from the FESX. The moment we got this candle closed, everybody in the world went, okay, well, they're finished. Isn't this fantastic? Off we go. Now, it would be incredible if we got a really shallow sell down on FDAX, guys, because then we can actually go long again and try and pull off, again, another really, really lovely trade. Okay, so we'll just clean up our charts. So I'll just take a little sip here. FDAX is highly likely to, wow, there's a massive gap up on FDAX. So that goes on FDAX. That is a 4-point turning bar long. Let me just double check. It is a 4-point turning bar long. As if you are looking for another trade on FDAX, if they sell down below the top of this candle, if they sell down below the top of the candle, you can actually go long at 249. So FDAX 249 long, provided you can hold around 25 points of risk. All right, I'm just going to check your counter Fibonacci. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this, get rid of this. We can get rid of that. We haven't needed that yet. All right, so for those, guys, for those that can go long, okay, MJ, perfect. For those that can go long on FDAX, if these sellers sell down, if these sellers sell down, it is a 4-point turning bar long. So you're looking to wait, you're waiting for the sellers to sell down, you're waiting for the buyers to regain the initiative and buy the market at 249. As now at this stage, let me just check your Fibonacci's, let me check your fibs, and let me check your time. All right, that will be the last trade, guys, on the FDAX for this hour, I would suggest. Let me just have a look at your fibs. It's just tradable. Guys, it's just tradable. Damsey, if you can see anything here, or Cody, you can see anything here that I'm missing on FDAX, please give me a yell.
No, mate, not there. Nothing to say. Apologies.
Perfect. All right, cool. Now, for the Nasdaq traders, so S&P's over the top, guys, of its R3. So if we do have Nasdaq traders that are still long, guys, again, depending on how you pull the market apart, guys, you're effectively now going to wait for a static entry. So you're waiting for the buyers to push up. It would be incredible if the buyers pushed up to these really, really high Fibonacci levels. I would suggest it's going to be a short range reversal short. So guys, a short range reversal. I think the buyers are going to try and push through to the close of the hour. If we get a dominant 60-minute chart close, guys, we're probably going to keep grinding to the high side. Okay, we're literally probably going to keep going. Now, we can't lose sight. Let me just put a line on the screen here. Okay, so we're looking at, so the 88.6 fibs down the bottom here. Okay, which is brilliant. What I'm now looking at is if you are long, guys, if you are long on the NASDAQ, you're literally just staying long. Literally just staying long. The deltas, guys, the deltas are tradable. Right, so for those that have experience trading the delta, look at the efficiency of the candle, wait for the candle to close. If it's efficient, brilliant. We've got to be aware that we are starting to outstay our welcome here with the buyers. So I would prefer for the NASDAQ traders, we get ready to short instead of continuing to scale in long. Guys, I would prefer we do that. I think we've called the market pretty well today, guys, at this point in time. That black diamond, guys, if you can trade the risk, the black diamond is valid on NASDAQ. Going to play the same game again, please. Guys, the same game again. All right, at the moment, the buyers are quite healthy. You're looking for a 20-tick first target and risk control point. I'd suggest, guys, if you're long on the NASDAQ, guys, you probably look for maybe, I was about to say a 16 tick, but that's okay. It's gone through the 20 ticks already. So if you are long, guys, if you are long on a black diamond delta, okay, 20 ticks is a really awesome target. Cut your risk off on your long range target, guys. If you're going for 20s and 40s or 20s and 50s, I would suggest these guys are going to buy through to the close of the hour. Remy, well done. What do you think of the monthly SBR on ES looking long? 2 days to go. Louis, monthly SBR on ES. Mate, I love them. I love them is the answer. So the SBR is all the way down here. If that'll be, let me just look at the volume, mate. If that's a 4-point turning bar long on the big one, which I think it's going to be, if it's a 4-point turning bar long, guys, these guys will probably go to the stratosphere. Let me just go and have a look. Right, FDAX, guys, 4-point turning bar long. Your entry is at 49, guys. Your first target's at 54. You guys are on target and risk control point now, please. All right, so you're on target and risk control point now. Let me just, guys, I'm just going to jump on. I want Samurai. Come on. Quick. I want volume excess. Let me just add this on. Come on, off you go. Whoop. Come on. Press apply, press OK. Yeah, mate, it's a 4 point. So guys, we're about to get a 4 point. We're about to get a 4 point turning bar long on the monthly S&P 500 chart. These guys are going to fly. As they're going to fly. So you've got a monthly SBR long, you've got a 4 point turning bar long. They normally run in that series as well. So to answer your question, mate, I reckon there's a very serious upside to the S&P 500. Very serious upside. What I would suggest though, guys, is they're going to solve this tariff issue. That's going to be positive for the US. It's going to be negative for Europe. So it'll be positive for the US. It'll be negative for Europe. We're going to tank, guys, and then I think we're going to climb. But the tanking is relative, right? We might drop a couple of 100 points. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's horrible. Trump's horrible. Everything's horrible. Then it turns around and we'll go to all-time highs. I mean, again, guys, understanding that the FDAX is at the highest point it has ever been, all right? All-time high just here. It's the highest point it's ever been. 12 points. Andy, you've done very well, mate. Done very, very well. Now, guys, everybody's got the link for the hub. So if you are brand new to what we do, guys, you got any questions at all, please do not be shy. The hub meeting is a support meeting we run for traders all over the world. Unless you don't need to be with Samurai to come and say g'day. You just don't have to be with Samurai. And eventually you might go, oh, these guys know what they're doing. And then maybe you will be with Samurai. Who knows? So guys, what we've done, said I had this amazing comment up the top here. What these buyers have just done is they've gone back through, hit the 88.6 Fibonacci, which is ironically exactly what we were trading off the bottom. They've cruised back up and they've hit the Fibonacci levels. I'm going to reverse these Fibonacci's back the other way. Whoops, just lost that one. So we'll reverse the fibs, guys, because everybody knows Fibonacci is not palindromic. So Fibonacci is not palindromic. At this stage, we're waiting for a static entry short, guys. Remy, you're done for the day. Well done. So we're waiting for a static entry in order to trade. We are in the last 15 minutes, so we've got to be very, very careful. Anybody who's long on the FDAX over the top of the 4 point turning bar, guys, at 49, your first target is 54. You've clearly gone way beyond that target. So well done. That 4 point turning bar. Guys, 4 point turning bar, no concern with pivots on the FESX. One of the strongest reversal candles in the world, guys. I did say that in coaching last night and then went and proved it. Okay, so if you are long, guys, it's done what it's required to do. I think we're going to get a sell down, guys, at the turn of the hour. So again, we'll leave that on as a long range target. We'll just move that over here. I think we're going to get a sell down. Guys, if the sell down is really, really shortly lived, guys, really shortly lived, then we're looking for longs. If you want to doubly make sure that the sell down has failed, guys, simply just wait for the candle to close. So literally wait for the 5-minute candle to count down to 0 and then trade. Giac, how are you? You've got 70 ticks in the green, mate. That's a beautiful result. Right, so well done. Delta V too long, so ABC reversal confirmed. Daniel, spot on the mark, right? Spot on the mark. Absolutely correct. So this is a closed ABC pattern long. Right? That's why, again, this is when I went across to the FDAX. That's why, guys, when I said wait for the structured retrace, which is wait for the retrace and the rejection and then put your order on. Again, so interesting point, guys, 4 point turning bar on FDAX is just paid. 4 point turning bar on NASDAQ, 4 point turning bar on S&P 500. Every time we've got a 4 point turning bar, the market has responded in a positive way. All right, now, how long's that algorithm been around for? Guys, a very long time. All right, so no surprises at all. And that's why it keeps working, guys. That's particularly for futures traders, because everyone around the world, guys, everyone, you imagine the futures guys and girls, they all get a 4 point turning bar at the same time. If I was trading with a broker, let's say Cody was with one broker, Damsey's with a different broker, I'm with a different broker, I may have a 4 point turning bar, but Cody doesn't, Damsey doesn't, George does, Giac does, Remy doesn't. It's because the broker data feeds are not consistent across all brokers. You may get a signal on your chart when I don't get one on my chart. Therefore, I'm not trading. You are. You have a loss. And I'm like, well, wow, hang on, mate. I didn't get a signal. Because that's the difference between Forex, CFDs, and futures. As if you're a futures trader, everybody gets exactly the same signal at exactly the same time. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you get the same signal. So if you know how to interpret that, it means you can make a lot of money out of trading, guys. Doesn't matter if it's called futures. The fact is you can make a crap load of money out of it if you know how to interpret what is on the screen. Now, at this stage, guys, we've got static bar reversals short on the NASDAQ. We are in the last 15 minutes. As we are in the last 15 minutes. So what I'm going to suggest to everybody is we must see buyers because we are in the last 15 minutes and we're not off a pivot. Okay. I'm going to draw my Fibonacci down to catch them on the way up. Okay. I would suggest at this stage, NQ stopped at the pivot euro high. NQ stopped at a new pivot euro high. Cole, thank you. Guys, if we're going to go short on the static bar reversal, I know I did this in coaching last night. Guys, we actually had a losing trade, guys, in the LTR yesterday because I didn't wait for push, retrace, reject. 100% my fault, that one. What we need is we need the buyers to show fail at one of the early Fibonacci's and then go short. All right. Now, at this point in time, they've just traded outside the range. Now, that's fine, guys, if you go short under the 88.6, which is hiding behind there. If you are not an 88.6% trader, guys, then this retrace has taken your static bar reversal entry too far. All right. So that means for the static bar reversal traders, we're not going short. Okay. Now, understanding, guys, we're in the last 15 minutes. This is where the market can become a little bit unpredictable. So for those that don't like unpredictable, guys, you're simply waiting for the turn of the hour trade. You're looking for the agreement between all of the markets simultaneously. In fact, guess what? S&P 500 has just climbed back over 6,000, which is a round number. Okay, so we are not going short on the NASDAQ. Guys, as a static bar reversal trade. That delta, guys, if we were earlier in the trading session, that delta would be amazing. Because we're right at the end of the hour, that delta is not amazing. All right, so that delta is not amazing. Right? So we're not going to be taking that trade. Now, at the moment, guys, let's just see what they've got. We've got 7 minutes until the hour turns. At this stage, guys, FDAX, guys, again, very, very tempting to push the button when the market is falling. It's very tempting just to push the market and push the button and jump on. As it turns out, our OSR was set. Guys, then we climbed back inside our OSR, and then we basically just climbed away from that. Right. So any kind of long range target, guys, once we got the market stalling down the bottom here, any kind of long range target, guys, lay down misere for those that go for long range targets. Now, guys, I only got 5 points out of the FDAX today. I find it quite difficult to moderate with so many people and trade for long range targets, but I'm happy, guys. I'm happy with the amount of money I've made. And then we come back and we do it again. Now, guys, note the retracement. My stop's at 98.75. Your stop on S&P 500, Louis? Yeah, so for those guys, those that have gone long, whoops, let me get rid of that Fibonacci. You don't need that now. For those that have gone long, guys, once we got that second tier reversal, okay, then you got the 4-point turning bar here on S&P. For those that are happy staying long, guys, you had a 15-minute chart SBR, so you guys are going to stay long for around about 45 minutes to maximize the profit on that trade. So, Louis, if you're long from down the bottom here off the 88.6, then just try and hold it. I mean, you know the drill, right? Try and hold that for at least 45 minutes. That's going to end up being a very, very big trade. A very big trade. Now, FDAX, guys, we had a massive sell down. Sellers still own the stair step on the FDAX, so we're looking for valid buying base reversals. We would not assume a close over the 50 fib of the day. Guys, that delta there on FDAX, if we do close over the 50 fib, And then inside the new hour, we stay over the top of the 50 fib. That black diamond delta is 100% valid. Well, it's 100% valid. We would need to cast our Fibonacci. No, the Fibonacci is okay at this stage. All right, so we're just under the 50 fib at this point in time. NASDAQ goes right on the turn of the hour. So we've got our turn of the hour warning coming on the screen, just saying be very, very careful. So we're not going to go long again on NASDAQ, guys. If anything, for those people that are long on the S&P or the NASDAQ. So note, guys, that this is where the S&P 500 topped out during Asia, that 200% extension at 6,002. All right, if we go much higher, positive 48 locked in. What I meant, yeah, no, perfect. So again, guys, I would suggest at this point in time, we know both US markets, we know about that. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to set a Fibonacci retracement down like this. Okay, Fibonacci retracement. There will be a ton of traders. There will be a ton of traders sitting here. Whoops, I just pushed the wrong button. Hold on one sec. Guys, there'll be a ton of traders, particularly swing traders who are swinging off this one here, as Louis was saying. Is it 005, Louis, that those stops are sitting at? 00, yeah, 00. Okay, yeah. So, guys, there'll be a whole lot of swingers out there in the world, and good on them. They're going to be sitting there. Their stops are going to be sitting right here. Those orders, can you see if they're buy orders or sell orders? I think they're going to be sell orders. That'll be the stop losses for everybody trying to swing the market short. I think they'd be stops. Yeah, I think they're stops. Perfect. Locker is the 4-hour chart in swing trigger long. Louis. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yes, that wasn't a question. Perfect. So NQ 100%. So as Louis just said, guys, the swing trigger long. Let me just go full screen. So the swing trigger long, guys, that we said at the start of the session, we're at this beautiful 4-hour short. But if they can't consolidate the short, it's going to cruise back around and become a 4-hour swing trigger long. Guys, they're right on the cusp of doing that. US buying last night, interesting, came up to the weekly 88.6. How many times have we heard 88.6 today? Guys, so if these guys can, so particularly for the NASDAQ traders, guys, if we close above 824.25, so 824.25, let me just get rid of that. 824.25. So if we close above 824.25, 824, if we close above that or gap above that, we're going to keep going long. Guys, if we close below that, then we're going to pick up a really lovely turn of the hour short trade. All right, so what we want, guys, for the turn of the hour short trade, okay, what we want, we double check that Fibonacci is probably going to be there instead. Excuse me, perfect. So guys, what we want, if we're going to pick up a short trade, okay, on the turn of the hour, which is 90 seconds away, what we're looking for is this candle to freeze as a static bar reversal in its own right, which is highly, highly, highly likely. We don't want the buyers to gap over that black line. We then want the buyers to show inside the new hour and then get absolutely slammed. All right. Now, guys, in a perfect world, we don't want the buyers closing over that black line. Okay. Where's the S&P 500s? No, look, S&P is going to go and trigger its long. Okay. Now for the FDAX traders, guys, buyers still own this. Sellers still own the stair step. So again, you're about to pick up as an order inside. You're about to pick up an order inside the. Yeah, here they go. So they're out into the stratosphere, guys. This is a 4-hour long that's setting up here. So again, everything I've just said about closing under that line, we're not doing it. So we'll leave it on, guys. We'll leave it on. 23 seconds, guys. So at this stage, FDAX, you are now looking for a lower low. So FDAX traders, you're now looking for the sellers to push down. We would love a lower low. The sellers still own the stair step. Then we're looking to try and pick up a buying reversal going back the other way. it would be incredible if they retrace to Fibonacci. So we're going to have to try and keep an eye on all of these simultaneously. For the FDAX traders, if we do sell down below the 50 fib, no, so if we get a lower low just here, if we get a lower low, then the delta over the top of the 50 fib at 266 is a valid trade. Wow, a red, that's an R4. Okay, so a red diamond delta short on NASDAQ, guys, a red diamond delta short is tradable as if you trade deltas, all right? We don't have one yet. We don't have one yet. If you want to be a little bit patient, guys, with the hourly turn, you're allowed to be patient. There's no such thing as missing out on the hourly turn. FDAX, you've got your lower low. So that means that that little red static bar reversal is tradable. The delta over the top of the 50 fib is also tradable. Okay, if you're just waiting for these sellers to sell down and fail at Fibonacci first, if you're waiting for them to sell down and fail at Fibonacci first, then that's okay. That's okay. So let them sell. Just let them sell down. They're going to fail at either this Fibonacci here or this one down here. You're looking for the absolute strangulation of the sellers, guys, before you look to join the buyers. Okay, so the S&P, guys, the S&P has just closed over the 6005 magic number. Okay, just closed over it. So all the swing trading stop losses just got taken out. That's probably why we're not swingers, but that's a separate argument altogether. No red diamond deltas, guys, on NASDAQ. Right, no red diamond deltas yet. FDAX, just watch. Again, you're looking for the Fibonacci failure before we grab a trade. Right, so we're looking for the sellers to sell down and clearly fail. If you're a little bit nervous on FDAX, guys, just wait for the candle to close to confirm the failure and then take a trade. If you want to, it's such an easy filter. And now, guys, in defense of that, every time we've had a static entry today on FDAX, it's paid. Right? So every time we've had a static entry, it's paid. We are looking, guys, for a red diamond delta short on NASDAQ. Right? This looks a lot like an R4 failure. S&P 500. Oh, that's a rug. There's the V2 delta short, guys, on NASDAQ. Okay, here they come real fast. So if you are a delta trader on NASDAQ, guys, exactly the same rules, please. So same rules apply again. All right, we must not trade with too much risk, and we must have a risk control point. Okay, otherwise, I'd suggest we're probably going to see another push down here. Yes, we are. Okay, so deltas are getting painted on the chart very, very quickly, guys, very, very, very quickly. Again, if you've got your delta indicator sound turned on, it will tell you when to trade. Is there a counter Fibonacci issue? No, there's no counter Fibonacci issue at all. So guys, if you're short on that delta, short on the top delta there, please, you are now at your first target and risk control point for the second time. I would suggest they're going to go a little bit further, guys, but we don't know yet if this is the turning point on the market. So if you are short, guys, if you are short 20s and 40s or 20s and 50s, the moment that 20 tick target gets paid, guys, please cut your risk off and let the profit run. All right, please, 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 please. You don't have to do what you're told, but I would suggest that's probably smart. Okay, so if you are short on the NASDAQ, guys, even if you place the order on when the delta has gone through, guys, you're holding for 20s and whatever you can get your hands on. Okay, Louis, nice work, mate. No, that's a beautiful trade. That V2 delta, guys, on S&P 500 is valid short at 002.75. Guys, if you are going to go short at 002.75, your first target and risk control point is 001.75. So 001.75. Guys, now at this stage, FDAX, you've just seen the failure of that 38 fib. All right, so FDAX traders, sorry, I was on the NASDAQ. FDAX traders, you've got to retrace down to the 38 fib. You may have therefore gone long, guys, at that black diamond delta there, or you may have gone long over the 4-point turning bar. I'd prefer the black diamond delta because of the mathematical algorithm behind it. If you have gone long on that one, guys, at 240, your first target and risk control point is 245. Your second target is 250. All right, so you guys were waiting for the sell down and failure at the Fibonacci before you went long. For those that haven't gone long because you're waiting for the sellers to run out of steam, you're now looking for the entry, provided you promise me you've got a 5-point first target and risk control. 60-minute climactic reversal. Louis, well done. Okay, good. All right, now guys, just let the buyers cruise through here, please. Let the buyers cruise through. Again, if the buyers get stuck on the Fibonacci of that candle, we might be looking for the selling delta again. All right, so let me just navigate this as quickly as I can. That one goes like that. So Fibonacci down to catch them on the way up. Let's have a look. That 300% fib extension failure on NASDAQ, guys. Look at the accuracy of the price. We were going to talk about that, guys, in our coaching session today before we got our data. The accuracy of these markets, because we've got price integrity, guys, the accuracy of the Fibonacci is just insane. Okay, just insane. All right, now at this stage, guys, we're okay to take another trade on the NASDAQ. John, well done, nice work. So guys, again, if you are going to go short on the NASDAQ, guys, at 839.25, again, you don't have to do what you're told. I would strongly suggest you use a 20-tick first target and risk control point. If you're starting to if you've already made some really, really good money today, guys, a touch 16, then risk control is also really good fun, guys, because the moment they even sniff in your favor, you can't lose any money on the trade. All right, boom, you're at 19s already. Guys, if you've gone short on the delta again, it literally went 19 ticks towards a 20-tick target. I think we are going to see another sell down, guys. I think we are going to see another sell down. We've just got to be really careful, guys, at this point in time. We've actually hit this delta once already. Okay, so I've got a delta on my screen at 839.25. You would want to make sure you've got a tight risk control because we need to make sure this is actually the turning point in the market. All right, so if you are short, guys, if you are short, the moment it's gone 16, 17, 18 ticks in your favor, which is about now, guys, you'd start to reduce your risk on the trade. First target, guys, of 20 ticks is out at 21834.25. Now you're going to cut your risk off, guys, and go for 20s and 40s or 20s and 50s or 20 and whatever you can get your hands on. All right, so we've now hit the same red delta twice on the NASDAQ. We're not going to do that 3 times. Guys, I have a sneaking suspicion that these guys are going to easily pay 20s and 50s, guys. So that's 30, 40. It's just gone through 20s and 50s. Very, 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 very exciting way to pull the market apart, guys, because the moment you've put $100 in the bank, you cannot lose any money. If it runs in your favor, it's all money for jam. It's literally money for jam. Daniel, the only reason we're re-entering the delta is because we pushed up and failed at Fibonacci. All right, so we pushed up here. We got back near that 300% extension. We said, you know what? They're failing at the 61.8. Again, our delta is underneath the 50. So it's highly likely if these buyers push up and fail. Same on the S&P. So Fibonacci comes down on the S&P to catch them on the way back up. The fact that the S&P's got to the 76s, that's why these guys are actually starting to fall down. FDAX at this stage, guys, I took my eye off you for a quite significant period. I need a volume check, guys. The FDAX, I got 30 seconds to go with volume of 73. If that's the case, guys, we have to park the FDAX now. Cody, have you got volume down there? Is volume right down? Or Damsey? Or MJ, is the volume down? Yeah, okay, no. So FDAX, we're going to have to park the FDAX now. For those that don't know, we need the volume up around about 250. 300 is ideal. If the volume stays down in the low, I mean below 100, we've got to be careful on that one. Do I have any NASDAQ traders, guys, who are short on the delta and you are going for longer range targets? Because yes, Anna, how are you? Hope you're amazing. Anna, your long range target for the NASDAQ with a little bit of experience is just there at 817.50. If you've got more experience, your target is down here at 805. Either way, if you're short, please make sure you've got no risk on the trade. That would be really exciting. Yeah, make sure you got no risk on the trade. If it runs now, it's literally money for jam. This one down here puts you at 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. That's a 90 tick trade. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. If we were to freeze the market literally like it is right now, that little green candle there is actually going to be a static bar reversal short. So again, if these buyers don't give us a really strong, efficient candle, these sellers are going to collapse these guys to slightly longer range targets. So, and a really good target on NASDAQ, 17.5. If you're feeling adventurous, 805. Right? If you're feeling adventurous, 805. Man, if you're feeling super adventurous, 770. All right. Now, if you, yeah, so 7, let's not be greedy. 772. Right. Let's see how we go, though. Let's see how we go. Okay. So 3 potential targets there. This one here, very, very, very likely to get tickled on the next candle. Very, very likely to get tickled. S&P, guys, is looking very short. So it looks like these guys, literally the buyers, this is the last chance the buyers have got. FDAX, your volume, I'm going to put a volume warning, guys, on the chart, only because sometimes I don't look down, all right? So I'm just going to look at this right here. So every time I look at the FDAX chart, it reminds me to look at the volume. If we're under 200, guys, we've basically got to leave these guys alone. The signals will still work, but the follow-through is a lot slower. As in typically with a slower follow-through, people start to get impatient or nervous, and then they break their trading rules. What are these guys up to? So at the moment, guys, the S&P 500 is trying to grab these deltas and go short. Okay, so the higher of the delta, guys, so 0.275. The first target is 0.1.75. Now, the S&P traders, you would give the market up to 15 minutes, right? Up to 15 minutes to tickle your first target. They're thinking about it. Right? They're thinking about it. Again, they don't know what to do yet. Tell you what, that climactic reversal on S&P was absolutely brilliant. So we've got a climactic reversal warning, guys, indicator coming for you. So when the climactic volume triggers, guys, on the 60-minute chart, it will actually tell you it's triggering. So if you forget to look at your 60-minute chart, the 60-minute chart will actually talk to you and say, hey, are you aware that I've gone climactic? Which I do think is exciting. Because Louis picked up a really lovely reversal, guys, and again, it was all about that climactic volume, which is fantastic. So at this stage, 1 minute to go, guys. We're almost 15 minutes into the second hour. As I said, we do have our hub meeting on tonight, guys. So if you're going to come along and say good day, we're going to be running through static chart analysis from last night in the live trading room. I can very easily do tonight as well. Why did we take the trades we took? As in, how could you have made... So the subject for tonight, guys, basically, how could you make more money? How can you make more money? Can you aim the 133 for second? Yeah, 100%, mate, 100%. Now, your Fibonacci, though, mate, your Fibonacci is coming back the other way. So again, for the NASDAQ traders, your Fibonacci would look like this. So your 133, so your risk control point for the really experienced traders is here. Guys, I note that's beyond Anna's shorter range, long range target. There's the 133 fib extension. The 133 fib extension is down here, just beyond Anna's second long range target. So I'd suggest we're still going down. I suggest we're still going down. Yeah, 141.4, mate. Again, 21,800. I think this one's probably a smarter target just here. This one just here. Now, guys, that is, as I said, guys, we've got this little candle here on NASDAQ. It is a static bar reversal short. Okay, there's no doubt about that. If you were going to trade the static bar reversal short, guys, you must use exactly the same protocol we've been using all day. Now, again, I would prefer that people are short from up the top of the jar here, because that means you're carrying significantly less risk than if you re-enter as part of this selling sort of phase in the market. The risk on the static bar reversal, guys, is quite large. So more than 100 ticks of risk. So I would suggest, if you're not short already, the static bar reversal is okay to trade, but you must have a tight risk control point, right? So at this stage, 75 divided by 4. So we're still around about that 16 tick mark. Now, so the best way to grab the turn of the hour, guys, is to, again, wait for the buyers to run out of steam. And then you grab your short and you try and sit on the short as long as you possibly can. So Anna, and for those people that are short at the moment, if the sellers sell underneath this static bar reversal, which they're going to try and do probably pretty soon, if they sell underneath that one, then your short long range target, right, as in your basic long range target versus your intermediate, they're highly likely to just smack through that target. Highly likely. Craig, 2 times KPI, I'm done, got excited. Boom. Okay. What I made, that's fantastic. So again, Anna, your target, if you were short to that one right there, is it literally 817.50? If you were short to that, your target's been absolutely annihilated. Interesting point. Guys, guess where they just came down to? The 100 extension of the turning candle, which is the risk control point. They've literally touched it to the tick. Right? So if you guys are short on the static bar reversal, if you did take the static bar reversal, you're looking for a 20 tick first target. It's obviously gone way beyond the 20 tick first target. It goes way beyond it. If we sell down again, guys, S&P, you're through your first target and your second target. If we were to sell down again, guys, and they can't rocket down, these guys are likely to turn around and go back the other way. So Anna, your target here of, again, 17.50, incredible target, because you're before the noise. Right? If your target was down here, you'd now be going, oh crap, what are you guys doing? Like, this is ridiculous. But if you're shortly before the noise, then awesome, before the noise, which is great. So Craig, well done, mate. Double KPI. We love days like that. I'm over my lower KPI, guys. So my KPIs are 250, 500, and 1,000 US. Guys, on Thursdays, I tend to focus on you guys. I'm sitting over 250, which is great. I did have a blinder a couple of days ago, guys, over 2,000. So I'm sitting pretty for the week. If anybody is short on the static bar reversal, guys, you've just gone through your 20 tick target again. So please cut your risk off on your long range runners. If you do need a long range target for you guys, you're going to go short to here to 805, please. So if you do need a slightly longer range target, guys, you're short on the static bar reversals for 20s and 60s, but you've got no risk on the 60s in case they don't collapse and run now. Okay, so in case they don't collapse and run, you have no risk. Guys, your risk to reward ratio at this point in time is about 60 times in your favor. All right, 60 times in your favor. That, in my humble opinion, is hilarious. All these people out there in the world going for 1-to-1. Our risk to reward is now 60 times in our favor. Well done, Anna. That's beautiful. Beautiful trade. Okay, so anyone that is short, guys, on NASDAQ, if you're still short on NASDAQ, S&P, you've gone through your first target and your second target. You're on the way to the third target. So S&P third target is 999.75, please. 999.75. S&P traders, you have no risk on your long range targets. No risk on your long range targets. This is 100% money for jam, please, for everybody right across the board. Complete money for jam, guys. Money for jam. If they come and knock you out at +2, guys, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, which they've just done for the SBR traders, right? So you've gone through again, you've gone through your 20 tick target again, guys. So in fact, let's mark this up. Nice, let's mark this one up. Otherwise, I end up not knowing what we've done. So hold on one sec. So we had our reversal down the bottom, okay, and then we had the second tier reversal. A number of people grabbed that. A number of people then grabbed that black diamond delta there, right? So literally static bar reversal after the second tier. Some of you guys were grabbing the delta over there, which is more fun. That was an 88.6 fib. Then we had the 4-point turning bar long. As I said, provided we get a retrace and a rejection, you can go long. The signal's not perfect until we get that. Then it's gone bop, 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 bop. And now we're back up to where we are, where we've had effectively the delta short. Right, so we've had the delta short at the top of the jar here, right? The red diamond delta that's in there. And then some of you may have traded the static bar reversal short for short range targets. As the note, what we've done today, guys, is in FDAX, obviously you guys had a walk in the park. S&P, you guys have had a walk in the park. What we've done today, which I think is really, really exciting, is we've waited for every single candle to be static so we know what the market is thinking, and then we've taken a trade. Guys, it's really important. If you want to master the art of trading, you let the market do all the heavy lifting. Andy, 214 ticks for tonight going to dinner. Well done, mate. That's a huge result. That's a huge result. I'll just check on my bride and see how she's going. How are you going? Oh, very good. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I can't even see those numbers, but all I can see, guys, is a sea of green on Akito's computer. So that's obviously... Okay, she's well over KPI, guys, as well. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, guys, we're having the Global Hub meeting tonight. As I said, if you want to come and say good day, guys, come and say good day. We'll pull apart why we did what we did today. I've got 3 other lessons I want to talk about. Apart from that, guys, today, if I had to debrief today, guys, it was very, very boring. We just waited for the market to tell us when to trade, and then we took trades. I'm profitable. Akito's profitable. Andy's very profitable. Louis smashed it. Remy's done very well. Roger W, how are you, man? I hope you're fantastic. Is there somewhere that explains the new indicators? MJ, you must be a mind reader. So yes, Tim is currently producing a series of ninja videos for you on breaking down the new indicators. Absolutely. Now there are more coming. Right? There are more indicators coming. Right now, I think you guys have got enough toys to play with. There are more coming. There are more coming, and they are incredible. Incredible. So all of these long-range targets, guys, like literally Anna's long-range target that I got for on the screen there, guys, that's a 90-tick trade, so $450 US. We have an indicator to tell you where to put those long-range targets, guys. I'm just drawing them on the screen at the moment. Okay, that's me just drawing them on the screen. We've got a very, very exciting year coming, MJ. Very, very exciting year. In fact, I might, with Anna's permission, I might actually make mention of the NASDAQ long-range target. Okay, so that was, LRT for Anna. And mind you, and everybody else that was on the trade. So that Delta V2, guys, Delta V2 is obviously hunting institutional orders in the market. At the moment, these guys pushed up through the R4 and failed badly. You saw the instos come in and they just smashed the market, which is brilliant. And, you know, hey, presto, we picked up a reversal Delta again, which is really good. So MJ, yeah, all of those videos are coming for you. All those videos are coming for you. Just basically talking about how to navigate around the indicators. And then, mate, in the updated 101 course, I'm teaching you how to navigate using the indicators. So there's a whole lot of really cool stuff coming, which is really exciting. Now, S&P traders, if you're short, guys, on the Delta, you've gone through your first target, your second target, you're about to go through your third target. Guys, if you touch that, please have no risk. Guys, no risk on the long range S&P 500 trades. Okay, perfect, mate. Dan, 101 course, 100%. So we've got the 101 course that's available through the website at the moment. I'm currently doing a language update on it, Dan. So the 101 course is available 100%. As it clearly, it's a very, very detailed course. I've been told it's too long. I've been told the course is too long. But it does explain everything we do and why we do it and how we do it and similar. S&P traders, if you are short, you've just gone through your first target, second target, third target, guys. This is now money for jam on the S&P, please. If you are an S&P 500 trader, complete money for jam. These guys are just rolling further and further and further into profit. Okay, and all of our merchandise, guys, is about to arrive. So if anybody wants a samurai hat or a samurai coffee cup or a mouse pad, or you want a bumper sticker, all of that stuff is about to arrive as well. So guys, by the end of May, I would hope by the end of May, that's not far away, but by the end of May, I reckon all the merch will be on the website as well. Steve, shirts are a bit of a mission. They're literally a 1-by-1 order. So literally whatever size you are, mate, we would order the shirt for you, have it printed, and then send that off to you. So, mate, we've got a supplier that is happy to play the game on one-on-one orders, which is again a little bit annoying, but they're happy to do it. Okay, Alana's my graphic designer. So hang on, Arlen is back, guys. Alana is the graphic designer. She is amazing. So, guys, Arlen, the big boss, is back. So, guys, I have to behave now. The flip side, for those that are short on NASDAQ, if you're going for the really long-range target, guys, it's all the way down here at 772.50. There is another one we deleted, guys. I took the line off the screen, but there's another one sitting here. It's about the 80 mark. Right? So if anybody is still short on the NASDAQ, obviously you got the static bar reversal short, you got a brand new static bar reversal short. These sellers are really angry, and look, Europe is collapsing as expected. So then we've had a good day. S&P got one partial profit, a full profit, and they're short. NASDAQ got partial profit, full, partial, and FDAX belted it. So I'm done. And everyone in this office has made really good money. So there we go. I'm done.
I'm happy to hear that. And I'm happy that we actually managed to do the trading session in the end. That's really good.
Otherwise, I would have been teaching for 2 hours and everyone would have been really bored.
No, we love the training sessions. We love the education. We love everything, Lachlan. Everything we do together is lovely and great. So everyone, let's all say thank you to Lachlan and the great session that we had with Samurai Day Trading. So thank you so much. I'm happy that a lot of us here are happy with the profits that we made today. Everyone, let's keep an eye out for any interesting stuff that may or may not be coming here with the trading pit. We're back to teasing. We might have interesting things coming up. So I do encourage everyone to keep an eye out. Also, if anyone's interested in doing some US market trading, we have a live session later today as well at 7 p.m. GMT +2. So if anyone's interested, we have another live trading there with Ilimar, our founder, and some great guys from Fair Trade Academy. So if anyone's interested, very, very cool. It'll be hosted as well on our YouTube. And for everyone joining the live trading room with us, with the trading pit, I will see you next Thursday. And with Lachlan, you can enjoy it tomorrow.
Sounds great. Alan, thanks for your help. TTP. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you soon. Guys, thank you. Well done. Bye.